The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, BRRRR SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. I have a very special guest for you today from the panhandle of Florida all the way down to Tampa, Matt Gardner with Team Roar EXP. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely excited about having you on. I'm going to ask you the same first question I kind of ask everybody else. You and I had a chance to chit chat before we started, so I know a little bit about your background.
Yeah.
But I got to know, were you a young man of 5 years old tugging at your parents' pant leg? Hey, mom, dad, how do I become a realtor? Or were you like most of us, you kind of fell backwards into it?
Definitely fell backwards into it for sure. Not something I had on my radar whatsoever. After college, I ended up joining the Air Force. I was a fighter pilot for 11 years in the Air Force, ended up getting cancer. And while I was doing chemotherapy, basically, I was introduced to real estate, which was kind of my journey out of the military and into real estate.
Well, congratulations on well, first of all, thank you for your service. Second of all, congratulations on your recovery. That's fantastic. I hope we're free and clear now.
Yeah, we're in remission, so good to go.
Good stuff, man. And I think real estate's a great avenue for folks going through things like that. Mm-hmm. Kind of come and go as you please, and be able to not get docked for going to the doctor, so to speak. Yeah. So how did you find real estate? I mean, so you medically retired from the military. Yeah. And did you have a buddy or a mentor that you had and said, hey man, you'd be awesome?
Yeah, basically while I was down doing chemo at the hospital, actually, a couple of buddies of mine who were fighter pilots, but also realtors, they came up to me and they were like, hey man, just in case this thing doesn't work out with the military, I think you might do well in sales. And so they gave me the classic book of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which kind of really changed my mentality and got me hooked on real estate investing first. And so that was really my first avenue into real estate, was like, wow, I can kind of, conceptually create wealth through real estate. Right. And it just seemed to make sense to get my license at the same time. And then as I got my license, I realized I really enjoyed sales. And so I dove both into sales and investing kind of simultaneously.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Nice way to go about it too, Mm-hmm. Not just being quote unquote retail, which is great, but having that mindset to do both. So we kind of talked about how you got started, and so let's talk about today. Are you a solopreneur? Are you do you have a team? How does Team Roar look, and how does that work?
Sure. Yeah. So I started. So 2019 was my first part-time year as a real estate agent, as a solo dude. Okay. I was still Air Force at the time because the Air Force was trying to figure out whether they were going to kick me out or keep me in. So I was still acting as an instructor pilot for that year through 2019. So I was part-time solo agent then. I started my team at the end of 2019, and 2020 is when I retired. So April 2020 is when they finally gave me the boot. So that was my first partial year as a full-time real estate agent, if you will. And the team started growing more through that year. Then 2021 was my first full-time year as a full-time agent. It was awesome. That year, I was blessed enough to sell 50 million in sales personally that year.
Fantastic.
And then last year, 2022, was the same way. So I sold 50 million in personal sales last year as well. But on the background, the team has continued to grow. So now we have, on my local production team, we have about 15 agents that, collectively, they've sold about 100 million last year as well. And so that's kind of the makeup of what we do. We have agents in Destin, Florida, and the 30A area, and Panama City Beach, and in Tampa as well.
Fantastic. So let's talk about that. The 38 corridor, the Emerald Coast. Boy, it's got a lot of names, right? Yeah. The Panhandle. So tell me about the area that you work and live, obviously, and some of the. Of course, listeners know I'm in Florida as well, so I know these things. But for the new listener or people who don't know, tell us about the 38 corridor, Emerald Coast, and the beauty of the area that you work in.
Absolutely. So this area is heavily focused. It's a big tourist area for sure. 30A specifically, the 30A corridor that you keep referring to is just it's a road called County Road 30A. It jets off of what we call Highway 98, which is the road that kind of parallels the beach along the Panhandle. And so 30A will kind of jet south and follow along the beach a little bit closer for about a 20 to 30 mile span or so. And in 30A, it's just it's an area that has been so intentionally developed to be such a very, like I say, it's just so. You know, if you've ever seen the Truman Show, that was, you know, it came out a couple decades ago, that was filmed in a little town called Seaside, and that was in 30A. It was that perfect little seaside town, and that's exactly what it still looks like and feels like. But every one of these little towns have been developed to have their own kind of character and kind of culture in these little towns. Some are super high-end luxury, very minimalist kind of Rodeo Drive kind of feel. Others are very kind of super casual, but comfortable casual, but bougie and luxury at the same time. And so it's a really, really cool little strip that they don't allow any chain restaurants. There's no large towers in 30A. Like it's more of a getaway vacation than it is like a mainstream American vacation, where the two areas that surround 30A are Destin and Panama City Beach. And those areas offer what I call your traditional American vacation. You have your go-karts, you have your golf, putt-putt golf, you have your water activities and kind of the shopping and the restaurants. All that stuff is in those areas. But if you want a true kind of getaway, unique vibe, 30A. And really, the biggest thing that the area has to offer is the unique Caribbean type beaches that we have. So the sand.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know if have you been up to the Panhandle before and experienced it?
Oh yeah, many times.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a bigger fan of like Crab Island and stuff like that.
Yeah. Crab Island's great, exactly.
Yeah,
but the sand here, people just don't quite realize how beautiful, and they call it sugar sand because it really almost looks like you're walking on sugar. It's developed from coral versus a lot of the other sand, and like on the Atlantic side, it's developed from like shells. And so the coral sand creates kind of, when you walk on it, it has like this kind of squeak when you walk on the sand because it's a unique kind of sand that's created. And because the sand is so white, the water has this kind of really beautiful emerald bluish greenish kind of hue to it. So it feels very Caribbean when you're looking at it.
Definitely beautiful. Yeah, trust me, those of us that live in Southeast Florida, it's always, the grass is always green. Those in the Panhandle want to come down to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, and those of us down here in Palm Beach want to go to Clearwater, or then ultimately go up to the Panhandle. So that's the beauty of Florida, though, right?
Oh yeah.
It's not like it's the same thing across the whole state.
Oh yeah.
There's so many different beautiful places. I guess that's why we have 1,000 people a day moving here. Yeah. That and the taxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, beautiful area. I definitely, anybody listening or has the opportunity or is thinking about becoming a realtor or maybe relocating, maybe contacting Matt and seeing about, I think, living in one of the most beautiful areas. Like you said, just go watch the Truman Show, and you'll get a really good view of that. So let's put our prognostication hats on real quick. Let's start predicting the future, because we're probably both so good at it. So what does the next 1, 3, and 5 years look like for Team Roar and ultimately Matt Gardner? I mean, are we looking at building the team, and how's that going to look, and how's that going to happen?
Man, for the area and for myself and my team, we primarily focus on real estate investors. So 80% of the clientele we support are remote real estate investors. A lot of them are real estate agents in other areas just looking to put their money and save on taxes through short-term rentals that we call the short-term rental loophole. And that's currently in the tax code that allows people to offset their W-2 income by purchasing short-term rentals, which is great. But yeah, in the future, we're going to continue to do the same. We really want to expand our own personal portfolios as agents, because I instilled that with my agents personally. Like, nobody really wants to have to sell until you die, right? And so there's multiple kind of exit strategies. One of them, which the EXP offers, is the revenue share. So we always want to grow our team as much as we can, our downline. But on top of that, trying to get as many sources of that passive income as we can. And so I'm trying to instill that into a lot of my agents of like, hey, as soon as you have the capability of buying cash flowing real estate, which is going to really create that long-term generational wealth. That's what my big focus is for them. Beyond the investment side of the house, I just want to continue to help real estate agents and investors as much as I can. It's really been a fun journey. I have my first book that's going to be published this year. I've been working on it for the past 13 months now. I'm hoping to have it out in May of this year. It's going to be called Supersonic Real Estate. And it's a book focused to help real estate agents who want to work with investors and who want to get into investing themselves. So it's kind of teaching them that journey in that niche. I
love it.
Yeah, that's kind of my future.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear more about that. As a matter of fact, when we're done with the show, recording the show, stick with me for about a minute. I want to talk about some short-term stuff with you real quick.
Yeah.
So last couple of things, we're kind of winding down here, but the last couple of things. First and foremost, we all go through hurdles, right? We're all day to day, and you, with everything you've gone through with cancer and what you're going through now, and I guess remission, a lot of hurdles in life.
Sure.
Tell me about the hurdles in your business. I mean, you live in utopia, I'll tell you that. I mean, as far as beauty and the people and everything else, but in all utopias, there's still hurdles. If I had a magic wand that I picked up on the way at Hogwarts there in Orlando, came up to you, and I could fix that. I could fix some of those hurdles, or at least, assist you in that. What are a couple of those things besides time? Because everybody wants more time, right?
Sure. Time's always a thing, right? I think hurdles specifically for my business as an investor agent and focusing on investors is really finding the deals that are truly good deals, truly cash flowing deals. Okay. A lot of agents, I think the struggle in the real estate business, a lot of agents are ignorant, whether they are knowingly ignorant when it comes to investing or unknowingly ignorant when it comes to investing. And so they'll tell you, hey man, look, here's a great deal. It covers your mortgage, or they'll say certain things that don't really make investing sense. And also I'll see people touting all these quote unquote great deals, but then we'll actually go to analyze them with my clients. And there's just not many great deals. So my biggest hurdle is if I had a list of 100 great deals, I would sell those 100 deals today. Literally, there's enough demand out there to buy all the cash flowing deals. It's just the problem is finding the deals right now. So that's my biggest hurdle. Is I spend most of my day, and my virtual assistants and my team's day is spent trying to weed out where the good deals are.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I call that a classy problem too, We'll talk about that more though after the show. So how would someone get in touch with you? I mean, if they wanted to talk to you about real estate, maybe they want to list, maybe they want to buy. Hey, Matt, maybe they want to join the team.
Yeah.
How would they get in touch with you?
Sure. Yeah. So roargardner.com is going to be my website and dedicated to me. And I have, you have information about my book there. It's the pre-release and all that fun stuff out there. For my team specifically, I have teamroar.org. So .org for teamroar.org there. And on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, all that fun stuff, I'm just Roar Gardner. You can find me everywhere on all the socials at Roar Gardner.
Fantastic. So last question, you're the hit record. I'm the DJ, if anybody still knows what records are. But, give us something good. Take us out the last minute here. Tell us something that's on your heart, your mind, your soul that you'd like to share with everybody else. Kick us into the weekend.
Sure. I mean, I would say consistency is the key. Right now, I think a lot of agents were really struggling in the Q3, Q4 time period. I heard a lot of agents calling me about how their sales were down in Q1, and even this year it started kind of slow. The real estate industry is not a consistent, as much as people try to say it could be a consistent income, and it can be, there's always ups and downs, right?
Right.
And so I would say continue to push through, be smart with your finances. And, in the long run, real estate truly is the way for exceptional generational wealth. And so keep pushing through, be consistent. You'll get there.
Great advice. Matt Gardner, eXp Realty, the Roar team or Roar Group in beautiful panhandle of Florida, all the way down to Tampa. Thank you so much for being on the program, and really appreciate the time with us today. And I look forward to catching up with you the next 3, 6, 9 months, see how things are going. And by all means, maybe I'll look you up next time I'm up there.
Heck yeah, man. Appreciate it, Tim. Looking forward to it.
Have a great weekend.
See you guys.